Welcome back, Source Nation. You're listening to Indie Soul Saturday.
Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Indie Soul Saturdays. I am your host for today, filling in for James Grant Johnson. For those who are familiar with my voice, this is Steve Manderson, okay, from Sports Tuesday. I am very happy to be on the show today. And we're going to have a great show today. I'm very excited about the guest that I have on. My guest will be Arika Kane, not to be confused with the soap opera actress. She's a terrific singer. Okay, so it's going to be some great music, great conversation. So you guys relax. We'll take a break right now, and when we come back, I will be speaking with Arika Kane, and we'll be listening to her music. Hang in there. We'll be right back.
Source Nation, you're listening to Indie Soul Saturday.
Radio Network is just one of the many platforms that is used to fulfill dreams of our listeners and create a purpose that will impact the lives of our communities, cities, and the world. It is often said that great things will happen when a group of driven people work together to accomplish one goal. We're giving people the opportunity to have a voice, translate words that haven't been heard, and paint pictures that no one has seen. Source Radio Network is fueling your life's purpose. How can you listen? www.blogtalkradio.com/Source Radio.
Welcome back, Source Nation. You're listening to Indie Soul Saturday.
Welcome back to Indie Soul Saturdays, and I am Steve Manderson, filling in for James Grant Johnson. Okay, let me bring on my guest. She's doing some tremendous things. I love her music, and we're going to talk about it right now. And I'm definitely going to ask her this one question right off the bat. So, without any delay, let me bring on Miss Arika Kane.
Hello, how you doing?
I'm doing fine, Miss Kane. How are you?
I'm doing well, thanks. Thank you so much for having me today.
Oh, my pleasure, my pleasure. First question right off the bat. Do a lot of people confuse you with the soap opera actress?
Yes and no. It's more like a generational thing. The generation that, kind of really grew up watching it or, really loved the soap opera scene. They definitely get confused. The younger generation, doesn't. So it's a little bit of both.
Oh, I see. Because I figure when they hear the name, when they figure you're in a club, or, singing and performing, the Arika Kane, I'm like, oh my God, not the soap opera woman. Yeah.
Yeah, I get that a lot from that generation for sure. But yeah, I mean, my name's spelled with an A, so there's a little difference, but yeah, sometimes.
Okay. Well, that's good. Well, look at it this way. There are times you could be in a restaurant, man. You might get a free meal knowing that's who they think you are. Yeah.
Hey, whatever works.
There you go. You gotta
it.
learn how. You gotta learn how to work it. That's it.
Right.
I've heard your music. You sound so beautiful, and in terms of singing, what is your background?
Well, I grew up in a very musical family. Both my mother and father are singers and musicians, and they were in multiple musical groups. So even as a baby, they were bringing me to rehearsals, and all I would hear is instruments and harmonies and all sorts of genres, and every genre of music, basically. So it was all around me growing up. And, as a child, as a teenager, I just really wanted to follow, what I want, like what my passion was, and music was my passion. So I had went to college for 1 year, and then I was like, you know what, I want to start this music career now. I didn't want to wait any longer, so that's when I got on my grind. I was demoing songs. I was traveling everywhere to meet songwriters so I could record demos, and just connecting with as many people as I could, working many, many jobs to save up for recording, studio time. And I eventually got connected with my label, BSC Recordings, in 2008. And ever since then, I was able to release an official album, 2009. And it's just been amazing ever since. I've been writing, producing. Being an independent artist is just so beautiful because you have your creative, you have your creative energy, and you get to use it. You get to put it out there as who you are. You don't have to change or mold yourself for a certain, market. It's just, this is who I am, and it's just been beautiful ever since. It's been a struggle. Don't get it twisted. It's been
when it comes to the industry, it's always a struggle.
When it comes to the business, yes, it's been, there's the opposite of that. But as far as the creativity, it's been beautiful, yeah.
Well, I tell you, like I said, in this industry, especially you wear many hats: singer, songwriter, producer. Yeah, you pretty much are in control of your career, per se. Yes. Now, in your tours, you have toured with some of the major heavyweights here. I mean, we're talking Babyface, Charlie Wilson, Frankie Beverly, and Maze, Faith Evans. What, in your experience with them, dealing with them, what have you learned from each and every one of those artists?
Oh, well, they all have a different, a different energy and a different message. But I would say just their dedication to what they do. And for example, Frankie Beverly and Maze, I mean, I didn't know about their I didn't know how deep their following was until I was on a show with them, and I was just like, wow, this is like a whole nother world. And because I grew up after that generation, And so I really got to learn a lot from, the generations before me, and just the hard work and dedication that they put into making sure that they're making good music so their fans will always, always love them and always be appreciative of them. And that's one thing as an artist that's always been important to me, like, you make a good music. I don't like to follow trends. If somebody else is doing something, I don't want to be somebody else or take ideas from somebody else. It's just very important to make good music. And so probably that would be, the thing that they really instilled in me, learning from them and experiencing performing with them.
Well, I tell you, they have been heavyweights for a long, long time, and as I said, they're still attracting that huge audience every year, especially during the summertime.
Right.
But Babyface is another major heavyweight and a brilliant songwriter. Now, you're a songwriter yourself. Did Babyface give you a lot of inspiration?
Oh, my goodness. Yes. I mean, pretty much every song I grew up listening to, he either wrote or produced. So it was pretty amazing to be, to share the same stage with him. The reason I admire him as one of the greatest producers ever, because what he does as a producer is he doesn't turn the artist that he works with into one particular sound, right? Like, he brought the best out of every single artist. And that, to me, is a true producer, when you bring out the best that the artist is and you don't try to change, into fitting a certain sound that you want to put out. And to me, that's extraordinary. So he also inspired me from a producing level, without a doubt, yeah.
He is tremendous. I've been a big fan of his for so many years. Terrific performer in his own right.
Yeah.
And the thing about him that I love, he has such a quiet demeanor about him. A lot of times you forget that he exists. If you don't hear his song or see a video of his, that's how cool he is. I mean, he did a song called "This Is for the Cool," and I think he wrote it about himself.
That's my favorite song by him.
It is?
It does. It really embodies who he is. Yeah, definitely.
That's great. That is great. When it comes to songwriting, first of all, is there a particular area? Because some people have their inspiration. When you write, where do you feel most comfortable writing? At home, outside, on the beach? Where is your inspiration when it comes to writing?
It's a little bit of both. I definitely do a lot at home, but if I really, if there is something that really, really moves me, and I'm like, okay, this song is going to be deep. It's like I'm going to go real deep with this song, and the ideas are just flowing to me. I will definitely go down by the water. I actually don't live too far from the ocean, so I'll take a ride down the water and just get inspiration from just nature and fresh air and water and the view, and it really opens up a channel. Most creative people, just so happen to love nature, and I think it goes hand in hand with opening up those energy waves to allow what's really deep inside you to come out. So I would say it's a mixture. Yeah.
It is a mixture. Are you one of those spontaneous writers where you get an idea and you get a calling or whatever, wherever you're at, and you just write it down. You got to write something down. I assume a songwriter like you, when you travel, you almost you've got to have a pen and notepad. You just got to write it down.
Yeah, actually, because it will come out, if I'm in the grocery store or, like you said, traveling, there'll be an idea or even just a melody that's just in my head and it won't go away. And I know that it needs attention. It needs to turn into something. So what I usually do is I'll just take out, the digital world nowadays, I'll just take out my phone and record the melody or the words or whatever it is, so I have it saved. I have a whole library saved of stuff like that. Yeah. Yep.
You must have a huge library, that's for sure. When it comes to music, I think a lot of artists are like that. Everything. I bet you if I go into your home now, all I see is like wall-to-wall photos of your favorite artists, demos, the whole. Let me ask you this: do you have a recording studio in your home?
Yes, it is now. I do everything at home now because it's just so much easier. I mean, everybody's able. If you just have the digital programs, I know how to work Pro Tools very, very well. So, yeah, I just record at home. I usually like to go into a studio to mix the record just so I can have a nice sound system and just get out of my environment to finalize the record. But recording it is definitely a home studio now. Finally, I'm happy about it.
When in growing up as a child, what was the first female artist and the first male artist that you listened to as a child?
Well, that would be Michael Jackson and Mariah Carey.
Ah, okay.
Yes.
Well, Mariah, yes. I can see my Mariah.
I was
and
so
Michael.
impressed. Oh, yeah. I mean, the greats. I was so impressed by Mariah Carey. I mean, she's just a pure vocalist, and I was just so blown away at her abilities because she put out so many albums over the years, and I just couldn't get enough of her range. And she could sing powerful, but then sing really pretty and soft, and do all these interesting things with her voice. And so I would just put in her music and sing to everything she did, because to me that was like my vocal training, right? She was like my vocal teacher, and she doesn't even know it. So
she'll be glad if she was to hear it now. She'll be flattered. I'll tell you.
Yes, I hope to meet her and tell her one day. And I mean, Michael Jackson was just a superstar. So I mean, most of his career, all his music was everywhere, and it was more than his music. I mean, his message and the types of messages he put in his music about humanity in the world and everything like that, I think was really, really cool. But everybody pretty much loved his music. I mean, you don't really meet. I mean, who do you talk to that's like, oh, I hate Michael Jackson's music? It's like, it doesn't exist.
No, that's true. That is very true. He was a brilliant performer. That's what I took of him. We all know he could sing from when he was a child and everything, but his overall, he had such stage presence, and that's what I was always amazed about. His dancing was phenomenal. I could watch him dance all night long, all day long, or whatever. And Mariah Carey, her octaves, when she first came on the scene, she hit notes that I was like, really? I'm like, okay.
Right?
Yeah. I was totally amazed.
I know.
Yes,
And she went to do, like, when she went to do her live performances, I'm like, how is she going to pull off what she pulled off in the record? Because
True.
back then, vocalists sang to their highest potential in the record, and then when you sang live, it was, you know, you really had to work to try to match what you did in the record. And nowadays, most singers, they'll do the record, but they'll leave room, so when they perform live, they can, you know what I'm saying? So it was even more impressive when she would, you know, do it live, and it's like, wow. You know?
Yes, that's true. We're gonna play one of your songs right now. This one is called "Have You," and tell us a little bit about this song.
Well, Have You actually came from my library of many, many songs that I've done over the years. And it made the cut last year as far as actually releasing it and putting it out, because it's different from a lot of music that I do, and it has a different vibe. It has more of like a neo-soul type of vibe, and it's just a very lighthearted, soulful record. And so I released it 2016. And it did very well. It did very well in the charts, and so now it's a part of my officially released records, and definitely one I'm very proud of. Yeah.
All right. Well, we're going to listen to it right now. Source Nation, this is, the song is Have You, and my guest here today in the first hour is Arika Kane. Let's take a listen.
I need to see you lying right here with me, 'cause boy, I believe that's the way that it should be. Oh baby, I need to know those feelings you have to show, 'cause I'm willing to go wherever you want to go. Oh boy, my love is right in your head. The warmest embrace from a beautiful face, and it's all because of you. Boy, just do what you do, and I'll be thankful every day that I found you. Oh, boy, my love is right in your head, yeah. 'Cause in my eyes you are the only man.
That is awesome. I love that. I tell you.
You.
Yes, yes, yes. Who is doing the arranging? Did you arrange that as well, or?
The vocal arrangement, yes. The
Mhm.
music was arranged by Rodney Davis, who's a musician and producer actually here in Connecticut,
Mhm.
along with my label BSC Recordings. It's pretty, isn't it?
Oh, yeah, it's beautiful. I mean, it's relaxing, kind of romantic. Yeah, depending on who you're
Yes.
with, and it's a very very easygoing, very pleasurable song. Uh, now, is that
Right.
the
Good
type of
vibes.
yes? Now, is that the type of music you really love to do, or is that the specialty with you?
I would say yes. I mean, not specific, arrangements but as far as the vibe and the feeling,
Hmm.
definitely without a doubt. I just that's just who I am. It's what I exude, and I can't really help it.
Well, you just gotta go with it, honey. That's you.
Yeah, yeah, totally. Mm.
Mm. Now, you have worked with the legendary Brian McKnight. What is that? What was that experience like? You did a song together, and he's a writer himself too. And
Right.
what was that experience like working with him?
Oh, it was one of the most amazing experiences I've had in my career. One, because I grew up listening to him and admiring his talent, so that was really cool. And two, because I actually wrote the vocal arrangements and I actually produced him, so that was like mind blowing. That was just really, really cool. He really respected me as an artist and songwriter, and I wrote the lyrics, the melodies. I wrote his the parts that he sang, and when we
Really?
kind of were
Wow.
just like, yeah, yeah, it was so exciting when I remember I was home writing that one, and I'm like, this is so cool. Like, I'm writing Brian McKnight's, like, verse. Like, how cool is this? And, then I was like, oh, my God, I hope he likes it. I hope, I hope it's good enough because he's so talented. And, of course, he was just really excited about it. And so he basically took what I wrote and just did him, like he expanded upon it with the voice and the talent that he has, and really cool to
Hmm.
work with, really easy to work with, really fun studio session. There's also a video for it that's on Vivo and YouTube, for the record. It's there. So while we were recording, we were actually shooting the video at the same time. So
Hmm.
that was really, really cool. Yeah, definitely one of the best experiences in my career working with Brian McKnight, for sure.
What was his assessment of you? Uh, the what are the things he had to say about you?
Um, he was just really into the fact I was an independent artist and that I was making great music, because the conversation I had with him, behind the scenes, he had talked about the music industry and, the struggles of creativity and what they want to market, put out there, and to market, and what they won't, and how he had a long struggle with the type of music that he wants to put out there, and how the major labels, or just the industry as a whole, like the mainstream machine, if that's what you want to call it,
Hmm.
there was there was a pretty significant amount of time where they didn't want to, it was all like trendy music, or auto-tune. Then there was that whole auto-tune phase, and then it was, if it didn't have a hip-hop drum on it, then, they didn't want to put it out, or if it was almost like a lessening or dumbing down of music. And he, so he had a hard time with that, and, acknowledging that I was so driven to make sure that the music, the content that I was putting out was, had a lot of substance and a lot of depth to it. And, he just commended me as an artist. He was like, that's great that you're doing this type of music. It's most artists are scared to do this type of music because they feel like it won't sell, or, so that was the conversation we had, the behind-the-scenes convo.
Now, you've worked, like I said, you've worked with Brian McKnight, worked with Babyface, Charlie Wilson, Frankie Beverly and Mays, Faith Pleasant, and a sort of others. Now, you're a heavyweight, in my opinion, working with those heavyweights. At any point during your career and working with these people, is there any one artist that intimidates you? Like, say, if you're working with a certain artist, is like, let's say you were to work with, oh God, who can I speak to? Or let's say when you first worked with Babyface and everything, did he intimidate you? Do you get intimidated? Is there any artist that intimidates you?
Well, I mean, there is a moment of, wow, like, I've been listening to you and admiring your talent and your music, from the outskirts, from the sidelines for so many years, and now I'm here with you, working next to you. So there is that moment of like, oh my gosh, like, this is really happening. But as a performer, over the years as a performer, you kind of have to kind of master any sort of pressure. So it's almost like the same thing as getting on stage. It's the same feeling, like you kind of have to overcome, all the excitement. I mean, you keep the excitement, but you have to bring everything down a notch so you can be who you are and let your talent come through. So I would say it's the same thing as getting on stage to perform, the same type of feeling, being around somebody that I've looked up to for so long and being on stage. It's like the same type of feeling.
Okay. Now, you've toured pretty much across the country. What is your favorite city or state to perform where the crowd really is, you find the crowd very uplifting and much gets you motivated and gets you going? What are the best places across the country that you enjoyed performing?
The South. Everywhere
Really?
in the South. Oh, yeah, the Carolinas, Georgia. I get so much love there. There's so much love, and they listen to R&B music, no matter what. No matter what, the mainstream is pushing, onto everybody. They still listen to R&B. They love R&B, and that's actually where my first tour was in the South with my very first single. So there's a lot of there's a lot of people who followed me from the beginning that are also there. So it's a combination. But just the love, the support, and the love for R&B music is big in the South, and you don't find that everywhere in the country.
That's a good point.
Yeah.
Now, you're originally from, are you originally from Connecticut, or?
Yep, I'm born and raised in Connecticut. Mm-hmm.
What part of Connecticut?
Killingly, Connecticut. It's in the northeast corner, like right near the border of Rhode Island and Massachusetts.
Oh, okay.
Yep. And then I moved down to the southern part of Connecticut years back in order to, be in the music business. You got to kind of be closer to New York City so I now reside in southern Connecticut.
Where what is the one venue that you would love to perform that you haven't done yet?
Well, I mean, can we say Madison Square Garden? I mean, that would be the one right there. I mean, once you sell out Madison Square Garden, you're pretty much good.
That's it. Okay.
You're pretty much straight. I mean, that would be the ultimate goal, as far as this country. But I also look very forward to traveling overseas and expanding my horizons and, everywhere overseas as well. But in this country, I think Madison Square Garden is the ticket.
Okay. That is definitely, most definitely. All right, we're going to play other song here. It's called Love Makes a Woman. What was the inspiration behind this?
Well, interestingly enough, I listen to a lot of radio, XM radio, and when I'm in the car, and I like to listen to, all the R&B stations, and I listen to the Soul Town station every once in a while because it has, the Motown songs and the feel-good music from the 60s, and this particular record was originally done in 1968 by the talented Barbara Acklin, and I would hear this record over and over. It just kept playing when I would get in the car, and, I follow synchronicities. If something keeps showing itself to me, it means there's a meaning behind it, and just the message in the song, the positive message about women, the soulfulness in the record, it was just right up my alley, and I was like, you know what, I feel like I really need to remake this record and put it out, let the younger generation hear something like this. So that was definitely my inspiration behind it.
All right. Well, we're going to listen to this right now. So, Source Nation, this is Love Makes a Woman, and I'm talking with singer, songwriter, producer Arika Kane. Take a listen. That's awesome. I love it. Oh my God! And I'm old school, and I remember the original version. This.
Oh, you do good.
Yes, I remember. I remember when I heard it. It's been so long since I heard it. So when I saw the title, I was like, oh, this might be something different, new. But I heard the tunes. I'm like, oh my God, this is. Oh, all right. You went back there. Okay,
I did.
That's awesome.
I did.
That is awesome. Are you a fan of Motown?
Oh yeah. I mean, all that feel good music. I mean, it was just an amazing time, an amazing era. I wish I was there for it, but at least there's the music, right? Still the music.
Yeah, thank God for archives, right?
Right, totally. I mean, there needs to be more feel-good music out there, you know. There's not enough of that. So that's another reason I was like, you know what? Let me just hit them with this because we need some good we need some good energy here.
Oh yes, oh yeah. That was awesome. I'm listening to this and my head is going, man. I'm bobbing and everything. Yeah, that's awesome.
Good.
That is awesome. One of the last questions I want to ask you before I let you go, and I thank you very much. This is one of the most enjoyable conversations I've had here on Indie Soul Saturdays. Like I said, when you have worked with a lot of great artists, which artists, male or female, are you really dying to work with on stage?
On stage.
Or even to do an album?
You know, that's a good question. I don't, there really isn't one specific. I kind of, you know, am open to my journey, whoever I happen to cross paths with. I'd love to do an album with Brian McKnight now. That would be something special. You know, there's not a lot of singers like him now. You notice that? There's not a lot of vocalists like that these days.
Yeah. You got a point there.
Yeah, definitely would love to do an album with him, or you know, even like a Christmas album, something really special. But other than that, as far as you know, new artists or anything, there's not many. I do like what Bruno Mars is doing as far as the sound.
You really like
his sound?
Really?
Well,
he is so upbeat though. Yeah, is that something that you would love to work with him?
Well, as far as the mainstream,
you're gonna have to learn to dance with this guy.
Oh, I don't need to learn. I already got that. But but as far as mainstream artists, I do like his vibe. He has a couple like jams that are a little, you know, grooves that aren't, you know, as up tempo. So I just like the kind of pop R&B sound he's bringing to mainstream because it's breaking up the monotony of the mumbo jumbo, you know, hip hop that has turned into mumbo jumbo. I don't know what that's all about, but you know, like the trendy stuff, you know. So he's breaking up the monotony a little bit. Also, T-Bars, who's also on BSU Recordings label, that's going to be on your next show. She's off the chain. She's a real, you know, MC, real hip hop artist. So, you know, her music is really awesome and also breaking up the monotony out there. So, yeah, Bruno Mars is cool. He's cool. I work with him for sure.
Great. Well, unfortunately, we are out of time. But this was fantastic. And well, let's go. What is your next project?
Well, I'm currently writing my next album, which I'm hoping will be finished by the end of this summer this year. writing it now and recording it, and look forward to sharing it with the world, and, stay updated on my social media, Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, my website, arikakane.com. And thank you so much for having me.
Listen, it's a pleasure. I could talk music with you all day long. But that's especially when you go back to the old school. Yeah, honey, you warming my heart here.
All right, that's what we like.
Yes, but all right, thank you very much. You are definitely welcome back on Indie Soul Saturdays, especially when you completed your project. Yeah, come on back and talk about it.
Okay, I will do that.
Okay. Well, listen, you take care, and God
you
bless,
too.
and talk to you down the road.
Yes, God bless. Thanks again.
All right. Source Nation, that is singer, songwriter, producer Arika Kane. And that was a lot of fun. And she's a tremendous artist. Her future continues to be bright. And do check her out. We'll definitely let you know what's going on with her. And you can always check us out on Facebook and all the other social media outlets. So that's it, Arika Kane. That is so cool, man. I had a great time. I love that song. Oh, my God. I love that song, man. Her version is excellent. All right. Source Nation, that is it for me. And hope everybody had a great time listening today. Enjoy your weekend. And for you sports fans out there, you go check me out on Tuesday on Sports Tuesdays. That's it. All right. So, as I always say, be good and be safe. Take care, everybody.